My name is Jacie Brown. I am the president of the Women's Ranch Rodeo Association, and we're here today in Ardmore, Oklahoma, to start our summer rodeo season. The ranch rodeos, most of our events are geared towards directly what we do on the ranch every day, or a cattle operation every day. For instance, like the mugging. A lot of times you're by yourself, on your own operation, but in this case, we get to have 4 girls, and you go out there and you get to rope them, head them, and heel them, and per se, tie them down, to doctor them if there was something wrong with them out in the pasture. It'd be the same principle, if you're doctoring foot rots or stuff like that. Another event that they'll do tonight, or will do tonight, is a pinning. A lot of times, you see videos and stuff, people are pinning cattle, to sort, and, they may be pulling the calves off of them to sell them, or pull something bad off to doctor that way too. And so, most of these events are geared specifically towards what we do on a day-to-day basis out the ranch, or whatever your setup is. We compete in teams of 4. There's 4 girls on a team. Each girl can only be on one team each in this particular association. It's kind of every event. Obviously, sometimes there's 2 girls that do a little more in one event than the other, but every event is driven towards all 4 members are taking a part in something in some form or fashion in the event. We actually compete in all of them. I mean, when you come to these rodeos, each team will compete in every single event. So tonight there'll be 4 events. The trailer loading, the mugging, the pinning, and then, of course, the double team roping. And so all the teams that are here today, they will compete tonight in each one of those events as a team. Our association is set up based off of points and a timing system, similar to like your PRCA rodeos. The fastest time normally wins. Of course, we have a set of rules and guidelines, to take care of our stock, take care of our horses and our cattle. And so we'll have judges out there in the arena, and they'll flag if they need to or whatever. But most of these teams are really familiar with how this process works. So if they complete the task the fastest and don't break any rules to the whole deal, then they'll be the event winner of that particular event. And so at the end of the rodeo, like tonight at the end of the rodeo, whichever team has went and completed all 4 events, with the fastest times and the less mistakes, they're going to end up being your average winners. I grew up on a cow-calf and stalker operation, yearling stalker operation, which is actually just north and east of here, about 2 hours, and kind of eastern Oklahoma. I grew up starting cattle like I said, as a starter yard. We take in yearlings at a smaller weight, and then I would feed them and straighten them out and everything. Of course, go through the whole straighten them out health-wise and everything, and then those cattle are fattened and sold later on. I grew up doing that, and that's actually what I do for myself now. I own my own preconditioning yard, so I start a bunch of yearlings there throughout the year myself, and then I also run yearly in the neighborhood of 500 cow pairs myself, and we just raise them for the calf crop, and then of course sell the calves in the fall or spring. It's probably going to sound crazy, but I started, obviously I rodeoed growing up, high school rodeoed, junior rodeo, did all the things, roped and stuff. Didn't ranch rodeo that much until I started in college, and my best friend, she actually wanted to start ranch rodeo, and in this association, we weren't real familiar with it back then, and, we'd get online, in college, and we're like, hey, man, we need to check it out. We need to get involved in this, and so we started entering just some of our local rodeos, and, we just really wanted to go, but we were obviously broke college kids, so we were like, well, we can't drive to New Mexico, or we can't drive here or there, or whatever, just yet, and when we get geared up and get situated to go, that's what we're going to do, and eventually, it kind of took off and went that direction, and we started rodeo, and we started hauling to some of these rodeos, and it's been 14 years since I started in this association, so I guess it probably depends on each rodeo. Sometimes it changes, but I do like the mugging a lot. I do like to rope them and tie them down, but pretty much anything roping, I guess, so it's any of the events where we get to roping them, they're my favorite. The mugging's actually where they'll turn a steer out and you head him and heel him, and then you have to mug him on the ground and then tie 3 legs. So it is similar. Obviously, it's a little bigger cattle, a little different situation because you do get to head and heel versus just heading them. But you obviously have to tie down 3 legs, same as calf rope. I don't really have a particular favorite one. I guess just going to all these rodeos. Like I said, I've been going for 14 years, and you get new girls and old girls that continue to go throughout the years. And I guess my favorite thing about the whole deal together is just the camaraderie between all of us. It's not necessarily one rodeo or the other. It's just everybody comes together and you it's like your rodeo family, every year. And sometimes it's new people, sometimes it's some of the same ones for years after years. But I guess that's probably my favorite part of the whole thing is just the friendships and relationships that we've built along the way. My favorite buckle is probably the one I'm wearing. It doesn't mean a lot, I guess, to some people, but it's pretty special when you get to be the top hand at a rodeo, or maybe more than once that year. And that particular year, I lucked out and had a couple good rodeos and ended up being the top hand at a few of them that summer. And it's just, I don't know. This is probably my favorite one that's stuck with me through all these years. So the Women's Ranch Rodeo Association got started in Kansas. Last year was our 20th year. This year will be our 21st year. There was a group of gals that kind of got together. Obviously, ranchers' daughters and wives of husbands that were ranch rodeoing and stuff, and wanted to kind of make the event their own, and kind of go from that. So they developed and founded, Billy Franks was our co-founder, founded the Women's Ranch Rodeo Association. We have been growing all these years. We've our area has changed. Like, we used to have a lot of teams from the Northwest and stuff, Colorado, Wyoming area, and now we're kind of transitioned back towards Oklahoma, Texas. That's predominantly where our teams come from. There's a team here today from New Mexico, so that's kind of cool that we're starting to get some of those back. The association itself is completely women-driven. I mean, our board of directors and everything is, from top to bottom, is stacked with very into it women that are involved in one way or another, whether it be competing or, everyday lifestyle in the ranching industry. And they're very, very knowledgeable about what's going on in this industry and very passionate about what we're doing. We just really want to continue to grow this organization because, there's really not another one out there like it. There are some other ranch rodeo associations, but not one just solely geared towards women or, ran by women per se. Some of the rodeos, especially in this country, the open ranch rodeos, like I get on some guys' teams. I'll be on a team with 2 or 3 different guys and then be the only girl on the team, but they're just open ranch rodeos, so it's a little bit different than what we're doing. There are also some co-ed rodeos where they specify you have to have like 1 or 2 girls on the team and then 1 or 2 guys on the team to make a team to compete. So a lot of us are involved in that kind of stuff too. It's not solely just this, but particularly our association is just based off of women competitors. Our point system is only based off of our sanctioned rodeos, similar to like the PRCA. Like this rodeo this weekend, the points from it and the money earned and stuff will go towards like the qualifying teams for our World Finals, which is in October in Pawhuska. These teams compete all year long to gain points to try to what we call the year-end World Championship. I mean, they're trying to win first, and so they compete all year long. And there's some teams that can't go all year, so they'll still get to go to finals and just compete more so for the day money and prizes and such that way versus the year-end. But all these rodeos come together at the end of the season, and the points are tallied up, and whoever's sitting first, that'll be your new world champion.